you know, when you have kids, it's definitely harder to leave than it is to stay. And it changes everyone's life and forever, you know? So you really have to like take your time and wait and see if there'll be changes.
Kim Kardashian is getting candid. The reality star sat down with Alex Cooper for the October 15th episode of Call Her Daddy and opened up about a range of personal topics, including her relationship with ex-husband Kanye West, reaction to previously being cheated on, and raising her children as a single mother. The SKIMS founder first, however, addressed and dodged certain rumors, including ones about her love life. Alex set up a game, Confess or Text, explaining that if Kim doesn't want to answer a question, she will have to text something pre-written by the Call Her Daddy team to a family member. One of the questions the 44-year-old did answer was how much she spends on Glam per year, as she speculated the number was around $1 million. She also shared what she thinks she should have gotten canceled for in the past, but didn't.
I know what it is, and I think I'm going to get canceled if I say it.
You're like, I'm not bringing that shit back up.
Like, I don't know who approved this, and I don't know who thought that this was normal, this narrative, but I did a photo shoot with Justin Bieber, and he was 16 years old, and I don't know how old I was, and it was like a play. His girlfriend was there, his parents, I mean, it was like nothing creepy at all, but I look back and I'm like, that's the one thing that I feel like, you know, he's like a good, dear friend of ours and the whole family, but like, who thought that that was a good idea? You know, I must have been 30 years old, you know?
I could see that. I could see that getting murky.
But it was a story of, what's that story with the teacher and the student? The Graduate.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I just feel like that was nothing ever weird, was obviously happening. And like, I just think that was like an odd concept, and why none of us thought that that was odd at the time.
Meanwhile, when asked how serious she ever was with Tom Brady or to play an F, Marry, Kill game, Kim stayed silent.
Marry, Kill X's edition. Pete Davidson, Tom Brady, Chris Humphries.
I think I'll text on this one. I'll get in way too much trouble there.
Okay.
Text Kylie. I'm sick to my stomach. I think mom has been doing some shady things with my money. Call me ASAP. Okay, I was just talking to her also. OMG, I'm sick to my stomach. I think mom has been doing some shady things with my money. Call me ASAP.
That sneaky smirk. Okay, wait, back one question, because even though you didn't answer it.
Calling. Should I just put my ringer on?
Yeah. Okay. You have to tell me. How serious were you and Tom Brady?
Oh my God.
Like a date? Oh, you're not going to answer that one?
I'm not going to answer.
Plus, Kim also set the record straight on whether she and Travis Barker, who is now married to and shares a son with Kim's sister Kourtney Kardashian, ever hooked up in the past.
No, I never have. Absolutely. That I do not mind you asking.
Okay.
I never have. And that really sucks that that has gone on. But he dated Paris and we were all friends and we'd all like hang out. And when I was with Paris, we'd be on the road and go to like their tour in Amsterdam. And like, so I have been friends with him, but never like in that way, and never, never hooked up with him.
Did you have any heads up that you were going to be in his memoir, like reference as the crush?
No.
Okay.
No. But it would say that we never hooked up. I mean, I don't think he would allude to that information, you know? But also Kourtney was around during that time. So like they were neighbors for a decade. So like when everyone was all hanging, like he was always around with his kids. They'd always come to Kourtney's house for all the birthdays. So it was like everything was super like open and cool, and like everyone's been friends.
Later in the conversation, the mom of four revealed that the hardest thing her family went through publicly was their former stepdad, Caitlyn Jenner's transition. Additionally, she spoke candidly about ex-husband Kanye West, reflecting that one of the traits that initially drew her to him was his larger-than-life personality.
Almost 15 years we were together.
Going back to those kind of beginning happy days, like what initially drew you to him?
I mean, he was like larger than life and so smart and just always talked about like new ideas and things that I wasn't really familiar with. And I was always learning with him. And it was always just such a fun time.
Yeah.
I think there's obviously, people can say that there was like signs and maybe I wasn't paying attention to them. And I think when someone has like their first like mental break, you want to be super supportive and you want to like help figure that out and you want to really get into that with them and be there for them. But I think that it just when someone isn't willing to make changes that I think would be super healthy and beneficial, it makes it really hard to continue on in a relationship that can be toxic.
She also explained how having children together makes it difficult to leave a relationship, as she acknowledged that everyone around her could see what was going on, but maintained a compassionate approach.
When you have kids, it's definitely harder to leave than it is to stay. And it changes everyone's life and forever. So you really have to like take your time and wait and see if there'll be changes. But once you get to a place where you feel like it's not gonna change or get better, then you have to make like some serious choices on what you're gonna do. And that's like a really hard reality to face, You want to believe that for a little bit. And, then you look at your babies and you're just like, but then you think like, you know what, if they see a good example of like me setting boundaries, and then once like my mental health starts to get affected and then I can't parent the way that I need to and I can't be present and focused, then like there's got to be one of us that can. And I had to like save myself in order to be a better mom for everyone. And I think like when everyone's older, they'll be able to understand it and see that all.
She went on to discuss what contributed to her deciding to end the relationship and noted that she had to make peace with being okay if it could mean adjusting to a different life.
There was just a lot of things that I wouldn't deal with, like I didn't like the feeling of like, someone being like maybe talking bad about, my kids' grandmother, aunts, like all of those feelings. If someone feels that way, then, we shouldn't be together, maybe airing out a lot of stuff, a lot of personal stuff, just not feeling safe, not even physically, just like maybe emotionally or even, financially, because you have, big ideas that financial things. I would like come home and we had like 5 Lamborghinis and I'd come home and they'd all be gone, if he was in an episode, and I'd be like, oh wait, where's all our cars? Like my new car. And it would be like, oh, he gave them away to all of his friends. And then I'd be like, huh, okay. And then I'd come home again, and at a different point we had, 5 more Lamborghinis, and then I'd wake up in another episode and they'd all be gone again. And that time I was like, keep them, guys, like I don't know what to say, but like I never felt like I didn't know, what you're going to get when you wake up. And that's like a really unsettling feeling.
Later in the episode, the reality star revealed that she has previously been cheated on and explained her reaction when she found out.
He told me.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Immediately after or long after?
Long after.
And you were still together?
Uh-huh.
How did you deal with that?
I just kind of was like, huh. Tell me more, But like when That was like a more recent thing. But when you're in like a toxic, like
someone
20-year-old
cheated on you?
Not like super recently.
Oh.
But like when you're in your 20s and stuff, it's like all out psycho war, like
right. Take them down.
Yeah, like psychoness when you're in one of those, like, and that has happened, but it's like calling the person. I'll always call the person and go off.
Called the person that they cheated with?
God, it's been so long. Yeah.
Plus, Kim discussed when the last time her children, North, St., Chicago, and Sam, saw their dad as she cleared up misconceptions that she doesn't let them see him.
Whenever he'll call for them and ask, it's probably been a couple months since we've heard from him. But
how do you handle, because it's all on you in those moments, the disappointment, if any, from the kids? Like, how do you explain those moments to them?
They always knew that he had a big life traveling before and was always on tour and all of that. So it's and that he lives in different countries all the time and loves to live all over the place. So, we manage it really well. Like they love like their life and their routine and their schedule. And I think just their job as their mom is just to make sure that they stick to their routine and they're healthy and happy. And, look, it's not easy no matter what. Co-parenting with anyone, and I think that the one thing that just gets me is that there's this narrative that like I keep the kids. I've never once, away from him. I've never once done that.
And speaking of being a single mom, the business mogul brushed off parenting criticism, explaining that she wants her kids to try new things and embrace their creativity as they grow up in the public eye.
It's interesting because all the kids are like wearing the same things, but then my daughter tries to wear it. And then I'm like, okay, we're never wearing that again. Unfortunately, we made that mistake in front of the whole world. And she's, usually a girl that dresses like a tomboy most of the time. And she wanted to try something that her friends were wearing and went to the same place that they went to. And they all got these, outfits. And then she wears them and it's just like, okay, wait, maybe you can't wear that, And so as a mom, you're kind of like learning at the same time. But yeah, I just think anyone that's raising kids, especially 4 kids by myself, I'm doing the best that I can. And my babies are good babies. Yeah. So I just urge everyone to like not be judgmental and to have grace on single moms trying to figure it all out with like, a preteen. It's a lot.
Kim, who also noted in the interview that she is currently single, revealed that she recently took the bar and is awaiting the results, which are due in about a month.
I just took the bar in July. It was an experience.
Tell me.
It was a lot. I took 4 months off. That's why I didn't respond to the bag thing, because I was like, and I'm putting my phone down. I took off 4 months to really focus on that, and I didn't work on anything else. And I just focused on studying, and I took it, and I'm hoping for the best, praying to God.
Wait, when do we find out if you pass?
November.